everyone. Hello, Adam.
Hello.
We are here. I'm here with Adam Piot, an amazing soul, and also a fabulous expert in meditation and yoga and wellness all around. And he's going to teach us a little bit about just the beginner's guide to meditation. I wish I could say I meditate every day. I've downloaded who knows how many meditation apps and have yet to try one of them, but Adam has gotten me into these breath techniques, into meditation practices that are just super simple. They don't require a lot of time, and they just have immense benefits. So Adam's going to share some of the benefits with us and then take us through a brief meditation.
Sounds good. Thank you so much, Nora, and thank you all for joining today. We are here obviously in a little piece of paradise, but your money-back guarantee is that with the practice of meditation, you're going to find the real paradise within, right? That's what we want to do. So this is the first of a short series that I'm calling Meditation Keeping It Simple. Meditation can seem very exotic, very foreign, and we want to bring it back to be very practical, something that we can use at any point in any situation in our life. And so whether you have been meditating in some form for a long time, or this is the first time you've ever actually listened and considered bringing in meditation into your life, I hope that you will find some benefit from this. So what we're going to do in this series is consider meditation, well, let me say this, keeping it Zen. Zen is one of those words that, as far as I know, you can't really, there's no negative connotation to it, right? If somebody says you're being really Zen, it's like a good thing, right? So Zen means many things to many people, but simple. That's what we're going for here. So what we want to focus on in this series is introducing you to what is meditation, why meditate, or why consider it, and how to meditate. So, you know, when you kind of get those three things established, the rest falls into place. So in a nutshell, what meditation is, in ancient teachings, the word means to become familiar with. So we're becoming familiar with our authentic selves, our inner awareness, our inner clarity, our inner intelligence. It's always there, but we forget sometimes. We get stuck in our mind, in our emotions, the distractions of life. So what we're doing through these different practices is becoming familiar once again with that essence of ourself that is always there and can be reconnected with. So basically we start with techniques. We take those techniques, we establish a practice, and with continued practice, it becomes a way of life. So step by step by step. Eventually meditation goes from just taking the time to practice your meditation to a meditative way of living without even thinking of it. So of course, meditation sounds good. Why meditate? Why even consider meditation? It's one of the few things that pretty much has shown to always have benefit in your life. Many people describe it as a keystone habit, which basically means it's one of those few things like eating well, moving your body, that infuses everything else you do. So if you practice meditation, you're going to be a better parent. You're going to be a more focused worker at whatever you do. You're going to be less reactive. You're going to sleep better. You're going to have better attention. So it infuses every aspect of your life. So not many things can do that, right? It's great for your health. More and more studies show that it can reduce stress. Very respected clinics are using it for pain reduction. Science is now showing the magic of neuroplasticity, so we can actually transform our brain. Basically, we're not stuck. When you say, this is how I am, it's not true. And meditation helps us experientially get a taste of that. Another very important thing in these busy times is what I like to call energy centering, and we're going to practice this as well. There's so many things vying for our attention all the time. We're aware of these things sometimes when we got that to-do list and it's like, when our phone is buzzing, there's so many things pulling us outside of ourselves that it's just so exhausting. And what the practice of meditation does, it helps bring it back and settle. So we're gonna have a little taste of that as well. Lastly, how to meditate. And that's where we get into the practices. So we're gonna deal with first just having an approach to meditation, otherwise known as the intention. And then we're gonna get into our specific practices. So when I say approach, intention, it doesn't have to be a far out spiritual thing, although that's a wonderful thing as well. But it's your authentic reason for considering this and taking the time to sit, to lie, and to just inquire about improving your life through a different meditation practice. So for some people, they may say, I want to be a calmer, less stressed person in my life, in my work, less reactive and angry with my kids, a better husband or wife or partner to my loved one. It may be that I want to be more connected to my spiritual source in whatever form that is. My number one word for intention and approach is authenticity. Just find why you want to feel better in your life and let that guide you into that time. And then remind yourself you're going to feel better after. That's it, right? Feel better after. And then you get on your seat. The hardest part is starting. At first, there is a bit of a push as we start, but then eventually the inspiration is going to pull us, just like exercise. And so before we get started here, the last great approach mentally and energetically to starting meditation is really thinking of it like exercise. My analogy is, you don't feel in great shape, but you think, I want to run a marathon. I feel inspired to run a marathon. In this case, the marathon of life. You're not going to go out and try to run 25 miles the first day. It's going to be an absolute train wreck. I've tried. You want to start with baby steps, right? You want to get the shoes on. You want to do that first mile. Maybe you walk half that first mile. Then the next day, you're like, all right. And you gradually build and build and build. Before you don't even have to think about it, the shoes are on, you're on your way. It's the same thing with this meditation. So have patience, have persistence, and think consistency rather than intensity, and it'll all take care of itself. So we've established what meditation is, why we want to meditate or consider it, how we're going to set our intention, and then we got to do it. That's the how, okay? So practices. So we're going to start with just one practice in this initial video, and this is probably the most simple, direct, non-confusing, and foundational practice we can do that's been going back thousands and thousands of years, and that is focus and concentration. So we're going to take our seat. I'm sitting in a traditional, Nora and I will sit in a traditional meditation posture. Perhaps you've got that Buddha statue at home that just somehow resonates a good feeling with you. Maybe that doesn't resonate and you don't like it. Don't worry about sitting like this. This can be very painful on the knees or the back. It may make you feel very dignified. The key is comfort, relaxation. So you can really just settle into your body, okay? If you're in a lot of pain or discomfort, your mind and your energy, you're not going to be able to stay. And so we begin. You take your seat, wherever that is, somewhat of a tall spine to help the energy flow. And we're just going to settle into two quick concentration practices. The first is breath. Our simple inhale and exhales through the nose. Without this, we're not going to be here. You can live without food for a while. You can live without water for a little bit, but you can't live without your breath. So it's here all the time. And our breath is something that can completely change our state. If we breathe fast and tight, we're stressed, our energy doesn't feel right. If we can learn to slow it down and find a natural rhythm, often things take care of themselves. So we begin by simply closing the eyes, bringing your awareness and your attention to the inhales and exhales through your nostril. And that's it. Just start to follow the inhale and exhales through your nostrils. And already you may feel the slightest bit of ease washing over you as you're centering your attention and your concentration. That awareness that has been so scattered to past and future, into things outside of yourself, is coming back home. This takes no special education, no special training. You're simply concentrating your mind and your awareness on the inhale and exhale. Literally 1 minute of this may help you feel better. And as you begin to practice more, a helpful idea is to set a timer for a short period. It can be 5, 10, 25 minutes. And like the waves behind me, your breath is natural and rhythmic, and you're just going to follow it. In and out. Now, another very helpful technique when starting is to count your breaths. This gives your mind and your attention a bit more of a focal point. And what's both frustrating and a bit humorous is you'll begin to notice that you probably can't make it past 3 to 4 breaths before your mind wanders. So with each inhale, you follow the breath. And with each exhale, you find one. If the mind goes to the past, the future, an itch, a thought, you gently bring it back and resume counting. And in this simple practice, you are training your mind. In some later practices that go a bit deeper in a different way, we want to have established a concentrated mind. Now, with a bit more practice of these simple techniques of following the breath, counting the breath, this is going to help your focus in your work, in your homework, in whatever you're doing. So just make a mental note. This is practice number 1. But we're going to bring in one more concentration practice. And for this, you're just going to open your eyes, and we're going to find a point of focus. So if you were at home, you could simply stare at the open space in front of you. You could light a candle and set it there. You could place any object. And all you're going to do is focus your awareness on that object. Not too tight, not too loose. You're just training your mind and your awareness to focus on that one point. You may feel that tug of distraction, sensation, memory, but with eyes open, you bring the attention and the awareness back to that object. And know that some days when you practice, Your attention and your awareness will be like a laser beam. Your focus will be unshakable. Other days, it may seem nearly impossible to keep that attention and that awareness in one place. But know that with practice, with the power of neuroplasticity, you're transforming your mind, your awareness, your energy, and your entire life. So for just about 5 more inhales and exhales, notice the centering and the focus of your awareness. And in this way, you are awakening the Zen master within. Grateful that we take the time, we dedicate the time we spent to the benefit of all those that we come encounter with from here on out. I thank you so much for joining Practice Makes Perfect, or closer. And until next time, we say Namaste.
Thank you, Adam.
Thank you, Nora.
Thank you all.